Yes, hi, this is Cattaruzza. To anyone that is watching this discussion, to those that are participating, thank you for being here. Uh, my adult friends call me Lou, and my children friends call me Brother Claus. I'm here this evening with the intention of recording our first discussion of living a satisfying life with an enlightened friends who understand their life's satisfying purpose and what they are doing to manifest it. This show is not about belief systems, rather to give those that may not be experiencing a satisfying life a window into how even through diversity, it is possible to experience satisfaction on demand. I personally discovered my satisfying purpose when watching a medical show, and the discussion was about our biology. That aha moment came to me when I learned that I, like all of us, are hardwired to cause joy, happiness, and yes, satisfaction on demand when we have a contributing mindset. This evening, Dr. Eva Ritvo, also known as the Happiness Doctor, will co-host this discussion on what she has found on the subject of happiness. She is an accomplished doctor and has written 3 books, the last one which I've read on the subject of happiness. You can learn more about her book from her website at bekinder.com. You can view my 2 initiatives, one being to make as many people aware of my satisfaction operating system, and the Brother Claus initiative to help children become aware of their ability to live a happy, healthy, and wise life. Please feel free to ask any questions, and if you like this show and you have thoughts on how to make it better, please let me know. Welcome again, Eva, and dear friends, to the topic, understanding the importance of finding the cause of our satisfaction. So first, let me define what satisfaction is to most. Fulfillment of one's wishes, expectations, or needs, or pleasure derived from them. And to me, it was a very important moment when I actually discovered, because I was spending years and years looking for that meaning that was so important. And so I spent lots of time doing seminars and workshops, and the search for satisfaction was always my modus operandi. I would wake up in the morning, try to figure out, let me think about this and that and so forth. Now, of course, besides having run a business and do the normal things that people do, that was always in the back of my mind, is that big question that a lot of people ask. But having done that, I finally got to that one moment where I really understood that after everybody has asked those big questions about consciousness, about the meanings that people are searching for that are constantly being viewed on YouTube and everywhere else, it's that simple understanding that somehow evolution has gotten us to that point where we understand ourselves of being biological, having the ability to be able to cause happiness and joy through our act of kindness, caring, loving others. It's kind of, it's the rule that's there that we seem to be searching more for other answers rather than just understanding the simplicity of that, how wonderful our life actually is when we understand that we can cause it to be the best it can be. That we are not at effect of the environment, we are not at effect of others, and that we view our perspective on the way things are our perspectives, that we cause those perspectives, and that we also cause those wonderful happy hormones to generate the feeling, the sense of wellness and well-being. and that's our responsibility. It's where some people don't think that they have free will, and that's, to me, is exactly the place to make that conclusion, that everything having said and done, we still have the ability to understand that we, through our act of generosity and kindness and caring, our life can be better and be, as I put it, more satisfying. So with that, I thought, Eva, please come to the Dr. Eva Ritvo can start talking about her conversation about that she's been having about the importance of people getting to understand the cause for their happiness, and take it away.
Well, thank you, Lou. What my last book was called Be Kinder, as you mentioned, spelled Bekindr. And that book was about kindness. And as I've been practicing now 30 years, we can make things really complex or we can make things really simple. And I like to make things simple. And I think that kindness is something that's been really undervalued in our culture and in many cultures. And I think if we can focus back on kindness, then I think we can all live a much more satisfying life. And my example of that is if we really even just take a look at our name is humankind. It is literally in our name. And I think that is what we are here for, as you said, to come together, to care for one another, to be compassionate. And if we could go back to some of those values, I think we would all be living a lot happier life. I think what's happened, different cultures have different inherent problems, but the United States culture has an inherent problem of over-ambitiousness. Right? We're a country that was formed by people living, on the other side of the ocean who thought it was a great idea to get in a small boat and come over here, with no technology. So our gene pool is from a very ambitious group of people. And that's what's led to the tremendous success of our country in a short time. But I think there's been too little focus on, the other side of that, which is our human relationships. And prior to the pandemic was when I wrote Be Kinder. And in that I collected stories of kind acts to strangers, because I know that people's behavior is shaped by what they read and what they watch on TV. So I wanted people to read stories about kindness to strangers and then be inspired themselves to be kinder to strangers. My focus has shifted during the pandemic because it's hard to interact with strangers. And during this pandemic, each of us has been under an extraordinary amount of stress. So my focus has shifted to self-kindness. And I strongly believe that any kindness is good kindness. And during times of stress, like the pandemic, if you're an adult, your responsibility is taking care of yourself. And that requires a lot of extra care right now. Our health is being threatened. And so I strongly believe that everybody now needs to focus on their own health, and that's physical and mental health. But in this pandemic, making choices through a lens of health, I think, is very wise. And so doing things where you feel safe and you feel protected and you're getting to some of your core values and not running around and chasing all the things that society had us chasing. So, things to buy, places to go, parties, vacations, etc. Most people have really narrowed their focus over the last year and a half, and it's been a really good time to attend to your own health. And I think that's why, like you said, people are Googling on YouTube and coming to all these sites right now, because there is a high level of distress and we can all feel better. There are very simple tools that each of us can use to feel better. And I think that's what you're trying to train people, is that the way we feel is in our head. It's really not something external. And we have control over what's in our head by engaging in positive interactions, by being with positive people, by doing things that give us passion and purpose. And as I was saying, proper self-care. If you are tired, or if you are hungry, or if you are hungover, it's really hard to feel happy.
Yeah.
We really can only feel happy under optimal situations. And I personally prefer the term well-being, because I think happiness is something that's like a mirage. I'll be happy when I get a promotion. I'll be happy when I buy a new home. I'll be happy when I get married.
Yeah,
These things seem to slip through our fingers.
yeah,
And really the time to be happy is right now. You
yeah,
can't be waiting for something in the future. And happy sometimes I think is a little overrated. And my goal is to get people to feel a sense of well-being in the moment. And if we
yeah,
have a sense of well-being, then when stressors occur, we have the resources internally to deal with them. But we
yeah,
have to make sure that we feel good in the present moment. And the basic of that to me is sleep. If you've had a good night's sleep, everything rolls out a lot better. The next layer is nutrition. You have to have proper nutrition because we're like a car, you need fuel to run, and it should be the high quality fuel, not the junky fuel that's on every corner that they're trying to get us to buy when we drive by.
mhm,
After that, I think exercise is key because our bodies are not designed to sit. They call sitting the new smoking. It's killing us. And so we have to do what our bodies are designed to do, which is move around, interact with people in 3 dimensions, get off of these screens. So exercise is vital to feeling better. And then getting rid of toxins. Our society is a society that has so many toxins, whether it's air pollution, noise pollution, smoking, excess alcohol, marijuana excessively. All these are toxins to our nervous system. And you're not going to feel your best if you're putting toxins in your body.
you know, one of the things that I talk about the contributing mindset, and this is where many fall into that thinking that it's easier for them to blame the existence, everything that's out there for the circum, whether it's the virus or whether it's anything else that gives them a reason to fail. It gives them a reason to feel lousy. It gives them a reason to be sick. It gives them a reason for everything, and just the environment. And the conversation that I have with people about having a contributing mindset is such that if you look at your body as the gift that you've been given, that has 50 trillion cells, that has, and each cell having 100 trillion atoms, all on purpose to do a specific thing. And it has its rules. It has its living rules. How does the body function the best it possibly can? It needs to sleep so many hours. It needs to be eating nourishment that makes every cell happy. Whether it's in the stomach, whether it's at the heart, it needs to have a purpose, a sense of purpose, to be able to get up in the morning loving what you're all about. It needs all of that. These are the rules of engagement for the body. And unfortunately, when you feel at effect of life, you're not steering things the right way. You're allowing the circumstances of your life to steer those things.
I call that the woe is me.
Yeah, no, what was
When
me?
people feel
Yeah,
that things are being done to them,
that's
woe
right.
is me, or a victim state. That's
That's
the
right.
opposite of empowerment. And when we feel empowered, that's when we feel our best. And so
That's right.
we have to help people who are stuck in that woe is me. And, I had a period in my life when I was stuck in that. It's
Yeah.
not uncommon. It's a pothole. It's out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Anxious and depressed, we get stuck in that. And the idea is to show people, wait, you're really not stuck. There are ways to get out of that pothole. And the opposite of woe is me is I'm in control.
Yeah.
And the pandemic has removed a lot of things that we had to do. We had to get up and go to work. We had to go to events. So now, well, we don't have to do that. So a lot of people have changed their life quite radically, and they're taking control of their life. And they're saying, gee, I don't want to live in a city anymore. I want to be out in nature. I don't want to go into an office anymore. I'm perfectly, capable of doing my job at home. A lot of people are happier without all the social obligations. They're spending more time with their family or their loved ones. Introverts are having a wonderful time now. So we can take the same set of circumstances and we can say, wow, this is horrible. We're in a pandemic. Life is awful. I'm so anxious. I don't want to leave my room. Or we can say, well, this is giving me an opportunity to look at my value system and say, gee, is my health in good enough shape? If not, how do I attend to my health? So if COVID comes knocking on my door or I'm out there greeting it, I can withstand that a little bit better. So I
Right.
think it's very important for people. If you are in that state, that's okay. We all get in that state at sometimes, and sometimes people aren't raised to feel empowered. But what's important is acknowledging it. And Lou, what you try to do, I know you do this with me all the time, you try to bring things to my awareness. You don't tell
Yeah.
me what to do. You subtly bring things to my awareness. You texting me, you're emailing me, you're getting me to look at things. So for listeners today, be aware. And we
Yeah.
all fall into it sometimes. Traffic is the time when I think most of us feel victimized, like, oh, I can't stand this. But the reality is you chose to live in this city, you chose to drive at that time, and you chose to go to that place. So, relax and enjoy a slower pace for the 20 minutes that you're stuck in the car.
Yeah. Well,
Good way to think about, like, how am I interpreting this stress? Am I interpreting it as a woe is me and feeling lousy and I've got road rage and I'm yelling at all these horrible people? Or am I going to feel empowered and say, well, you know what? Let me turn on some classical music and activate my parasympathetic nervous system and relax the best I can for these 20 minutes while I can't get anywhere.
Yeah. No, I think that those are great solutions that one should understand are available. I think a lot of people, come back to this whole idea of really not feeling like they matter. There's something about really not understanding what our true purpose is, why we are here as human beings. Why am I alive? What am I supposed to be doing? Many young people are constantly searching for trying to figuring it out. And I've come to the conclusion and listening to so many gurus out there that after everything is said and done, our purpose is hardwired in us. We are meant to contribute to the betterment of our own condition and to the human condition. When we contribute to the human condition, we experience satisfaction. We experience joy, happiness. It is our contributing mindset. When we understand that we're hardwired for that we all of a sudden understand our true purpose. So whether you work at McDonald's or whether you work at a hospital, your purpose is your commitment. What you're supposed to be doing is committing to the betterment of the human condition. So the way you serve people, the way you take care of people, that then generates this state of happiness, of bliss, because you're hardwired for it. There isn't much more to that. If this whole world got that they are in fact the purpose, they got their purpose, that when they get in life, the job they do, love comes from serving it the best they possibly can. That doesn't mean getting stuck in it. That doesn't mean growing from it. Matter of fact, the more you serve whatever it is that you do, the bigger the opportunity is. If you're working for a job and someone sees how great you are as a customer service person, or how you communicate, how much you love your job, you will grow in it. If you're in business and you're taking care of your customer and you're taking care of your employees and you're seeing them as you serving them, they love what you do. Your customers love what you do. You serve in the creation of that product that you made, that service you provide. All of that comes from a contributing mindset. If the world got that our joy, our happiness comes from a contributing mindset, getting up in the morning, you will understand that your body is waiting for you to trigger its contributing mindset. It's what am I going to do today to make somebody's life better? How am I going to go outside and say hello to somebody and recognize the smile that she just got or he just got contributed to my well-being? not only to theirs, but to my well-being. It's the purpose we are here for. And that's the message that I want people to really understand going forward. My initiatives and your initiatives and anyone that's out there that doesn't yet understand that whatever they're doing, when it comes from a contributing mindset, it's making a difference to the betterment of the human condition. That's what we're here for. We're the top of the food chain. We are the tool of the divine creator who has gotten us and who we've evolved to go out there and invent the future, send rocket ships to the rest of the universe and make everyone and everybody understand that we as a human race, are driven by that purpose of making a contribution to the betterment of the human condition. We have a lot of work on this earth to do it. And what you do and what a lot of other people are doing today is understanding that it is about this oneness. I am just a little cell in this cosmic universe, and we are here for this purpose. And how I know that is the biology, is looking at our biology, having understood what you talk about, that we cause our well-being to occur through our act of kindness, caring, loving. Now, how is that not the most important purpose living on this earth, is to care for each other? I mean, I can't imagine anything more purposeful. Now, that's what we're here. We're here to love ourselves, care for ourselves, so that this machine functions the best it can until it's finally finished. But that's what we're here for.
So maybe we could ask our listeners to give it a try and experience it themselves, Lou, because this is something that you've come to through a lot of study and an investigation and a lot of time. But people can try this on their own. You know, there's terms for this. There's helper's high, there's giver's gain. And maybe our listeners could take a few moments and think about the last time they did something for somebody else. How good did that feel? Yep. Because usually you can remember feeling really good when you do something for someone else. And then when you recognize that you benefit from it as well, then it makes it easier to engage in that sort of behavior again. And there's a lot of studies that show that people who volunteer regularly, they even live longer. So the benefits are documented. And they're internal, as well as the impact that you're having on the other person. Yeah. So I think that would be a great place for people to start, is to try to engage in an act of kindness, either self-kindness or a kindness to someone you know, or a kindness to a stranger, or a kindness to an animal, or a kindness to our planet. That's kindness is something that can go anywhere. And I think it's very important that listeners know that there is not one formula for everyone. We're not telling everybody here to please go out and, you know, volunteer at an old age home. At the same time, I'm also not telling everyone to go out and rescue cats. Right. It has to be what resonates with you. And some of us are really good at self-care, and others are really good at teaching kindergartners to read. Wherever your passion lies is what you should indulge in. And if you're doing that in a kind way with integrity, you are making the world a better place. Even if it's something that on the surface of it might not necessarily be helping other people. If you're doing it with that integrity that you talked about earlier and a real passion, then you're going to be furthering mankind as part of your contribution on Earth.
I thought that the understanding that in order to get to this part of my life, to really realize this, I had to have a tremendous amount of living. And I just keep on saying, I wish when I was 20, I could actually get, I got what I got today. My life would be so much different than today. But as you said, such a struggle trying to find what in the world do I need to do to feel satisfied. There was plenty of time. Now, having said that, we can't take away that we have old habits, that we have things that we do that are automatic. And to be aware of that is already one big step. But then it's how to figure out how to make those changes occur. Now, whether you go to therapy or whether you go into a seminar that transforms your life, whether you become spiritual, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. To get to that point of where you feel totally responsible for the way life unfolds for you, and that you can make the choices that you need to make, especially being aware when you're not doing it, being aware that you're at effect of some programming that you set up throughout your life, but it's you setting that up. The way you think, it's the way you unfold your life. So if you have to find yourself looking at getting a lot of satisfaction out of watching movies that are not necessarily might be violent, might be talking about things that are not really happy, or you're not feeling a sense of joy out of it, then you can start considering maybe making some shifts there, maybe making shifts in your life that all of a sudden you have another way of being every day. I find myself, I go out in the morning, I have a 2-mile walk, excuse me, 2-mile walk, something I didn't do regularly in the past. Now I do it, and I do it with, especially today, I do it with an intention to be able to experience the best I can while I'm doing that. So if I stop by a fig tree that's overhanging, and there's a wonderful fig tree, I'll taste the fig. I'll smell the flowers. I'll look at nature and in wonderment, how magnificent it is. And that it's all conscious, that everything has a purpose in this conscious realm of being, and that we're one of those. And so the satisfaction operating system, which I'm willing to share with everyone, is basically my life experience about what is it that you need to do in order to change those habits that you may that you need to change, your health, your mindset, and the way that you react to with others, and I mean literally with others, not necessarily only your spouse or your family, but anyone. How you react to those in being a great interested instead of trying to be interesting, and listening more. All of that is a contribution to your well-being, and certainly to the well-being of others. So a satisfaction operating system is just that, is the idea of being able to have this kind of menu of things that you can adopt to yourself to be able to start a path to a more satisfying life. Now, for children, of course, you and I have been talking about the importance of children's understanding that they truly matter, and that they have the love of their parents and the love of everyone around them. But and on top of that is to actually have them feel powerful, that they have the power to grow and to blossom into whatever it is that they'd like to have. So of course the children's books are all about that, having children understand that they can through their contribution to their pets, through their contribution to their family and to anyone else, that they have happy chemicals in them that goes to their body and makes them feel good. So all of these things, these initiatives are there. How can we scale these ideas up and really have a lot of people get on board to share them, to really share, just simply share these ideas and these concepts? And that's where we are today. We are both writing books. We are both communicating to an audience of the folks that we have. I'm interested in scaling this up because it is my purpose, and I know it's your purpose as well, to have a better world occur for my grandchildren and for the future. And somehow it seems to me that we have been given this task to be this way. We are human being, divinely inspired by being given this opportunity of causing our well-being and satisfaction on demand, to know that, and now to transform and provide a stimulus to transform the world so it does become a more humane planet. And so with that, if you folks have an interest of participating with us, you know where to reach us. You can certainly contact Dr. Eva Ritvo at her website. You can contact me. I'll be sure to put you together. And I will be asking for your assistance if you, in fact, are interested in getting on board and helping this initiative grow. There's plenty of things to do, and also hopefully we all will do it with a lot of joy and happiness, and something that is a great game to play. And so I certainly invite you to participate. Eva, is there anything else that we could need to say?
Thank you, Lou. And I think it's a beautiful mission. And I think people can see the joy coming from your sense of purpose. And I hope that they will take home a message today that they are valuable, that they have everything that they need, and that they need to make some changes perhaps to feel more in control of their life and more empowered. But if they can take steps being kind to themselves and kind to others, that is a wonderful way to get started.
Great. Look forward to hearing from you folks. Take care.
Bye-bye.